talk more about functions. So there are several parts to a function, right? There is the function name, there is the function return value, and then there's the function body, right? So you could think of the name as, you know, a developer human friendly like name, right? That helps identify the function. So in this case, make introductions is the function name. Return value is, you know, like basically when the function is called, what is returned. In this case, there is no return value, so it's null or it's empty. Finally, function body. This is the implementation details, right? So it's when the function is called, what code is executed. And so this is a very simple way of describing a function. So let's write a function that's slightly different, right? Let's write a function that's, you know, return name, or maybe let's call it get name. I'm going to say that it returns a string, which we'll talk about Kotlin types in a bit, but for the purposes of this video, you could think of string as just a series of words or just any text. And we can say AJ, right? And so with the return keyword, we specify that this function returns AJ. And then finally, we have this thing called, you know, is the function private or public? You could think of this as the function scope, right? Who can use this function? Who has access to this function, right? So for example, what we can do is we can say, instead of saying my name is AJ, maybe we can just say get name, right? So what this does is it takes the return value of get name and shoves it into this part of the text, my name is get name. And because we are using a typed language, and because we are using an IDE, IntelliJ, if you hover over get name, it will say function get name could be private. So if you either let the IDE do its thing, or you just add a keyword called private, that will make get name only available to introductions helper. So for example, if I go to my main file and I want to try to call get name, it's not going to let me do it because it's not available, right? It says cannot access get name. It is private in introductions helper. By default, if you don't specify the function scope, it will be public. So make introductions is available to another file because it is a public method. And get name is not because it's a private method. So hope this helps explain the different components of a method or a function.